Hey chiropractors, we've been talking about the 4 basic adjustments in the Blair chiropractic technique. Each one of the adjustments can be adapted to a patient's particular misalignment and a particular anatomy. But there are 4 basic ones, and there's an initial starting position. Remember, we started a few weeks ago with the initial starting position being what I call the question mark. You've got your feet in a particular stance, one of 3 different stances, and you've got your on the balls of your feet, your knees are bent, your pelvis is bent, your upper back is arched, and your shoulders are forward. I would call it the question mark position. And then we talked about the first adjustment type is a toggle recoil, which is very common in many different chiropractic techniques. What makes it a little bit different with the Blair technique is that we don't drop. It's just a straight toggle. In fact, maybe we even bounce up a little bit. Then we talked about the 90-degree torque when we have the arms in this position and the ulna of the contact hand rotates 90 degrees. Now the wrist is going to rotate 180, but the ulna only goes 90 degrees from along the drive guide line to the stance line. Then we had the 180-degree torque. The 180-degree torque was basically the same thing, except now we have to use our upper body as well as our shoulders to get in the right position. And the ulna is going to do 180 degrees, and the wrist is going to do 180 degrees as well. So we come up like this. Now we're going to talk about the one that is perhaps maybe the most difficult actually to do. We call it the inferior torque. It's 180 degrees, but it's going in the opposite direction. So we've got the position here typically, and we're coming in like this, and we're going to wrap our thumb around, but our upper body is twisting. Now in the 180 degree superior torque adjustment, we're moving our body away from the patient in a sense, and then coming back to the center. In this position with the inferior torque, we are moving away, but then in order to get 180 degrees of motion in that direction, our body is going actually in the opposite direction. This is what it looks like in one of the typical inferior torque adjustments, like that. And that is the 4th of the 4 basic types. And of course, it gets a little more complicated as we go into it more.